A new epic chapter is about to begin in a world where colossal creatures clash, titans rise, and kingdoms fall. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for the most highly anticipated sequel of the decade, Godzilla x Kong 2: The New Empire. It appears that the major cities will once again be evacuated, as the King of the Monsters and the Eighth Wonder of the World are set to reunite for the next chapter of the MonsterVerse in Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. So without further ado, here's everything we know about Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire's release date, cast, plot, and everything we know so far. The 2014 Godzilla film launched Legendary Cinematic Universe based on the legendary Toho monster films, serving as a stellar Western reboot with a jaw-dropping sense of scale and plenty of borderline apocalyptic monster fights. When Godzilla King of the Monsters unleashed a slew of new threats onto the Earth soon after Godzilla defeated the fearsome Mutos, audiences would discover that Godzilla was not the only monster in the universe. Though Godzilla nearly dies at the hands of the lethal King Ghidorah, the mutated Lizard King eventually triumphs and claims the title of king for himself. Long before Godzilla became the ultimate monster in the world, another monster king staked his claim on Skull Island, a secluded island. With Kong Skull Island, we see King Kong returning to the filmmaking industry in a big way, with the giant ape fighting off intruders in his sacred homeland. Decades later, in the appropriately titled Godzilla vs. Kong, Kong and Godzilla would face off, and while they began as ancient enemies, the two titans eventually teamed up to defeat the rogue Mecha-Godzilla. 3 years later, Godzilla and Kong will reunite in Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. The next chapter of the MonsterVerse will undoubtedly be an epic collection of chaos and mayhem, but the real question is whether the two titular monsters will once again be enemies or form a shaky alliance to face a new threat. When will Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire be released? It will be released on Friday, March 15, 2024, and will feature the massive creatures of the MonsterVerse. Where can I see the movie? Every Godzilla and King Kong fan will tell you that these cinematic icons shine the brightest on the big screen. Thankfully, the Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire announcement trailer makes it abundantly clear that the sequel will be released exclusively in theaters. This is exciting news for fans, as the previous film, Godzilla vs. Kong, was unable to receive a proper theatrical release due to the ongoing global pandemic, and instead premiered day and date on HBO Max alongside the rest of Warner Bros.' 2021 film slate. Having said that, the previous film did well in theaters and became the first major hit at the box office during the pandemic, grossing $470 million worldwide. The New Empire will bring the franchise back to theaters, and the film may eventually come to the newly rebranded Max after its theatrical run concludes. Is there a trailer for Godzilla x Kong? A title reveal trailer debuted the epic title of Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire, giving us our first look at what's in store for Godzilla and Kong's next big battle. An ape titan sits on a sinister throne, surrounded by bones and detritus, in the trailer, which lasts just over 30 seconds. At the edge of this monstrous graveyard are two massive skulls that appear to be Godzilla and Kong's heads. It seems reasonable to assume that the ape on the throne is Kong, but the creature's appearance is much skinnier than that of the titular protagonist, and he has a decidedly villainous air about him. The trailer for Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire begins with a close-up of this mysterious blue-eyed villain before revealing that the film will be released exclusively in theaters in 2024. Who plays Godzilla in Godzilla x Kong? Several Godzilla vs. Kong cast members will return for Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. Rebecca Hall as monster expert Dr. Eileen Edwards, Brian Tyree Henry as conspiracy theorist Bernie Hayes, and Kaylee Hottle as Kong's young human companion Gia are among those who appear. Dan Stevens, who starred in Downton Abbey, will also join the cast in an unspecified leading role. Rachel House, Alex Ferns, Fala Chen, and Mercy Cornwall round out the cast. There has been no word on whether Godzilla vs. Kong stars Alexander Skarsgård, Millie Bobby Brown, Julian Dennison, and Kyle Chandler will return, but it seems safe to assume that they will not. What is the story of Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire about? We know that when fans of these films see a Godzilla or King Kong film, they aren't thinking about an engaging plot. Still, here is the official plot synopsis for Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. This latest installment in the MonsterVerse franchise follows up the explosive showdown of Godzilla vs. Kong with an all-new cinematic adventure, pitting the almighty Kong and the fearsome Godzilla against a colossal undiscovered threat hidden within our world, challenging both their and our very existence. The epic new film will delve deeper into the histories of these titans, their origins, and the mysteries of Skull Island and beyond, all while uncovering the mythic battle that helped forge these extraordinary beings and forever bind them to humanity. The synopsis does not specify which iconic foe Godzilla and Kong will face, but it's certainly exciting that we'll learn more about the origins of these larger-than-life creatures and perhaps even return to Skull Island. Who is behind the creation of Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire? A few weeks after the release of Godzilla vs. Kong, it was announced that the film's director, Adam Wingard, would return to direct the next MonsterVerse film, marking the first time a filmmaker has directed more than one project in the MonsterVerse franchise. This also marks a sort of reunion for Adam Wingard and Dan Stevens, who worked together on the cult classic action horror film The Guest. The project's writer's room included Simon Barrett, Terry Rossio, and Jeremy Slater. Composer Junkie XL, editor Josh Schaefer, and production designer Tom Hammock are also on the team. When and where did Godzilla and Kong: The New Empire film? Filming for the monstrous sequel began in July 2022, with the majority of the action taking place on Australia's Gold Coast. By November 2022, filming had reportedly wrapped. The MonsterVerse expands into new regions. The MonsterVerse, which debuted in 2014 with the release of Godzilla, is still one of the most popular franchises. Outside of the MCU, there have been several successful cinematic universes with several interconnected films, such as Kong: Skull Island and Godzilla King of the Monsters. The first Godzilla vs. Kong film, released in 2021, marked a shift during the pandemic, as it was one of the major blockbuster films to return to theaters. Along with the eventual release of Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire, the MonsterVerse will continue to expand into television with Godzilla and the Titans, a series that will debut on Apple TV+. The franchise will also expand into animation with a Skull Island anime, which will premiere on Netflix at an undetermined date. With so many projects underway, it appears the momentum isn't slowing down anytime soon. On March 15, 2024, Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire will be released in theaters. That brings us to the end of our Godzilla x Kong 2: The New Empire update. Remember to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest news from the world of entertainment. Keep the hype alive and get ready to witness the clash of the Titans in The New Empire. Well, that's it. For now, make sure that you like our video. Please share your views and opinions in the comment section with us. Thanks for watching the video. We'll see you at the next one.